So today you are going to be coloring a coloring page on Photoshop. Okay, so you are first going to go to the Google Classroom assignment, Photoshop coloring page. You're going to choose a coloring page that you like. If you want, you can even go and download a coloring page if you want to use something different than what I provided for you. So you will find your coloring page, download it. Once you download the file, it will show up in your Finder downloads. And then you are going to, this time it's going to be a PDF. So you're going to right click on the PDF and do open with and open your file in Photoshop. This screen will come up. You just press OK. And then it will open up your PDF. Okay, so what you're going to be doing, you are going to be making, after you have downloaded your coloring page, you're going to go find your color palettes. So I'm going to go back to Google Chrome, and I'm going to go to Coolors, COOLORS.co, and find my color palettes. So I'm going to go press on the Explore section. And I'm going to scroll through and look through and find some really cool fall palettes. I would say find 2 to 3 palettes that you really like for the fall. Once you do, you are going to screenshot it. So I like this fiery palette. So I'm going to press Command-Shift-4. You see my little cross arrows show up. I'm going to drag over the color palette to get a screenshot of it. And I'm going to take this screenshot and open it right in Photoshop. Once it's open in Photoshop, I can take my layer and just drag it into my picture. And I'm going to leave it up at the top. If you want to move it, use your Move tool, which is keyboard shortcut V. And I'm going to move my color palette up top. So remember, have like 2 or 3 of these color palettes. I'm just using one because I'm just showing you a demonstration. So you have your color palette with your screenshot. I'm now going to duplicate my background layer because I want to keep my background layer safe. So I'm going to duplicate. You can right click and press duplicate, or you can use our keyboard shortcut Command J and duplicate your layer. And then I'm going to choose what I want to color. So I'm going to go to my paint bucket tool, which is all the way on the bottom. If you see, there's going to be these 3 dots. When you click on the 3 dots, it will pop up this menu of all these other tools. You're going to find the paint bucket tool. When you have it open, it does let you use keyboard shortcut G, but if you just use G right away, it doesn't usually open the paint bucket. So I have my paint bucket tool open so that I can use my palette that I screenshotted. I'm going to use the Option key on my keyboard to open up the eyedropper tool, which allows me to select my colors. So I'm going to use this dark base orange for my pumpkin color, and I'm just going to use my paint bucket tool and click and fill in all the areas that I think should be orange. So I'm just going to go all around my picture, and again, I'm just demonstrating, so I'm not going to completely finish it, but just so you have an idea. So you're going to fill in all the areas that should have the color that you're using. When I'm ready to move on to another color, I'm going to duplicate my layer again. So I'm going to go to my orange layer and duplicate. And now I'm going to press my Option key again and choose my next color. So I think I'm going to make the background this nice blue color here. So I'm going to go ahead and boom, make this blue. And as I'm going, I am going to name my layers to keep them organized, just like we did with the Photoshop organization assignment. I'm just going to call this orange pumpkin. And then I'm going to call this blue background. And I would continue doing that as I go through my two different layers. So as I get towards the end and I want to add some dimension to my pumpkin, what I'm going to do is I am going to add a new layer. So this layer won't have anything else in it, just it'll be just transparent like you can see. And I'm going to use my brush tool. And I'm going to use the colors, hopefully in your palette, but if not, you can adjust them so that you can get your highlights and shadows. So let's say I want it to I'm going to use this color right here as my highlight. I'm going to press the Option key again and select that color. And I'm going to change my brush opacity from 100%, and I'm going to bring it down to like 10%. And I'm just going to put a little line on my pumpkin. And you can see that's actually, I want it to be a little bit brighter, so I'm going to go, maybe I'll go to 20% so I can see it a little clearer. And I just want to put, again, just a little line on my pumpkin to add a highlight. To add a shadow, I'm going to click on my base color. And I'm actually going to click on it from the palette and drag it down, make it just a bit darker. And then say I'm going to make this side my shadow. I would just click and add a line to add in the shadow. And I would go around all over my pumpkin and whatever else in my picture and just add some highlights and shadows to make it look more interesting and add more dimension. Once I'm done doing that, I made sure that my file is organized, that my layers are labeled, and I'm going to go to File, Save As, and save it as my last name _ coloring page. And then I will save that PSD to my flash drive and upload that to the Google Classroom assignment. So take your time, have fun, make it look really nice, and then when you're done, turn it in.